Hello, this is Pete, or Kenshin1913, along with
Mom.
And this is another Cooking with Kenshin1913. We're back.
Yeah, we are back, and we're very happy that some of our viewers have asked us, where are you? We miss you. So we're very happy to be back filming again, and we had a few little bumps along the way, but we're back.
Yep. And we're in our own little pod. That's why we don't need to wear no masks. But yeah, today we're going to be making elote, or Mexican street corn.
And I'll show you how to prepare it. Okay, so the star of this recipe is corn. Right now it's wintertime, so here in the Northeast we can't find native corn, which normally we would use, so we're improvising. This street corn has tons of flavor, and some of the spices that we're going to be using are cumin, smoked paprika, ground pepper, salt, chili powder, and parsley. And when I've done it in the summertime as well, I've used fresh parsley. Mayonnaise, sour cream, these are all of my spices, lime juice, and queso fresco, which is a cheese, kind of a crumbly cheese. We're going to be using a little bit of butter and oil to char our corn. So we're going to be using a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of like a vegetable oil. You don't want anything too strong because you don't want it to take away from the natural flavors. Because most of the time I actually cook with olive oil. So what we're going to do is to turn this on high, mostly medium high, until this butter starts to melt and incorporates with the oil, because you want to get this nice and hot before you put your corn in. And as I mentioned, we're using frozen corn. We were going to try using, they sell corn sometimes that's frozen, that's on the cob. But I actually could not find it in the store this week, so.
Yep, originally this recipe is made for corn on the cob. They roast the corn and then they dip it or roll it in this mixture of mayonnaise and stuff. Now originally I honestly was like, ugh, mayonnaise and corn, this is gross. But then a few years ago I had it and it's terrific. And my sister was able to kind of make a recipe where you do it, but it doesn't have to be on the cob, so you could serve it as like almost a side dish, which is great.
So we're just waiting for this to get warm. The butter has melted.
But yeah, we've missed everybody. We've missed doing these videos, and I'm glad we're back. We're going to try to keep it to a consistent basis so that we have a video maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, which would be pretty cool.
And if you have any suggestions of a different sides or meals that you're interested in learning how to do, let us know. You're going to hear some sizzling. I threw in a couple of kernels to see if the oil was hot enough. Be careful because the corn is cold and it will stick.
Now you're going to cook this corn until it's about charred?
Yeah, you're gonna see some nice dark spots on it. So
yeah.
First we're gonna end up with a little bit more liquid in here because this is frozen, and so it's going to as it's heating up, it's going to let that liquid out, which is fine. And once the liquid is gone, the corn will start to char.
Yeah, it should take about like 7 to 10 minutes or so. And if you got fresh corn, obviously they're a little bit.
It's a little, yeah. Making it with the fresh corn is, we just cut it right off the cob. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Or you can make it on the cob if you want.
Yeah. What you would do is you would boil your corn. You know, it's kind of basically steamed in your pot because you use only a little bit of water to boil the corn cobs, and take them out and roll them in the mixture.
Yeah, most of the time they do like grill them or roast them first off.
Yeah,
yeah,
or you can actually grill it on your grill, on your barbecue, which would be great. Okay, here we are. It took about 5 minutes for the liquid to get boil out, and as you can, I don't know if you can see, but the edges here are starting to char a little bit. So we're just going to keep watching that because you don't want it to burn.
Yeah, you see this corn here? This is nice and charred right here. Right there, yeah. Yep.
You want to get that toasty look to it.
Yeah, and if you like cornbread, your house is pretty much going to smell like cornbread after this. So it just gives you that nice corny flavor.
Yeah, as you can see right here.
Yeah,
these
the
are,
edges.
yep, they're very nice like that. You're always going to find a hot spot on your in your pan.
Yeah, I was just about to mention. Every pan's got a different hot spot sometimes. Sometimes it's close to the edge. And it also depends on how you're doing with the fire underneath it, or the heat underneath it. But yeah, you don't want everything to burn, but you do want to get a nice brown, a nice caramelized, crusty brown type on your corn.
Okay, so here we are about a good 5 minutes into the cooking. Once the water has evaporated. Even if you do this with fresh corn, when you cut it off the cob, you kind of get like a milky substance and the water coming out of the kernels. So you'd still have to do a little extra. This is going to be like popcorn here. Yeah. That's what it smells like. But look how nice and charred that is.
Yeah, we're getting a nice brown on this corn.
And you can see that you got to keep moving it, because if you can see the bottom of my pan, it's very hot, and there's that fond on the bottom. So this is basically done. I'm going to turn my heat off, and I'm actually going to take it off the hot end up the side that we were cooking on, just so it won't keep cooking.
Yeah, we're just going to let it stay there while we make our mix.
Okay, so we're going to start adding all of our ingredients, which is like kind of the dressing for the corn, to the bowl. We have, we're going to put all of the actual amounts in the video. And if you're doing a large amount, of course, you're either going to, double it. I usually wouldn't do more than doubling in one bowl, because sometimes you get overwhelmed with it. So if you're making a lot of it, you're gonna, of course, do more. So that's the sour cream. Here's the mayonnaise. And I'm just gonna mix those together. I have all my spices measured out in one little bowl.
That's chili powder,
Yep.
pepper, cumin, smoked paprika, parsley, and salt.
Mm-hmm.
And elote gets its color from the paprika and the chili powder when you start mixing everything in.
And we're going to add our lime juice, which is 2 tablespoons. And our queso fresco cheese we're going to actually add after the corn is in.
Right. So 2 tablespoons of lime juice. If you got fresh lime juice, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't, this is a decent
The
substitute.
second best.
Yeah, decent substitute.
And you could always add more if you're you love the taste of lime, but first you're going to mix everything together and then taste it. And it calls for about 1/2 cup of queso fresco. Queso fresco is kind of the Mexican feta cheese. So you're just going to break it up. You could buy it either the whole piece like I have, or you can actually buy it crumbled up. And queso fresco can be used with lots of different cooking. You can see that the corn is still hot. I saw the smoke coming off.
Now at this point, you're just going to coat the corn with the mayonnaise dressing, with the sour cream and all that. And at this point, Mom, you want to add the cheese.
I just want to make sure I got it all mixed up.
Yeah.
And as I said, you know, this now is nice and creamy. We probably could have used a little bit more corn. You don't have to have it, you know, the mixture on it as thick. And if you're using corn on the cob and you're rolling it, and then you're going to have your queso fresco on the side and roll that in there as well.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It's a very summery dish, and we like eating it all year round now. Now that we got this nice recipe that my sister was able to make. Very good. Yeah, man, at this point...
And it's lovely left over. Of course, you're putting it in the refrigerator. But it's lovely to have with, you know, as a side. A side to a sandwich, a side to a nice burger, whatever you'd like. And that is it. Look how easy that was.
Yeah, so let's eat it. All right, here is our Mexican street corn on a mountain of deliciousness, creaminess, tanginess. It's gonna be good. Yeah, you really get that tang from the sour cream and the cheese. You get that nice sweetness from the corn, and then you get that nice little hit of chili from the chili powder.
And sometimes it's really nice to have something that is out of season. So like having this corn dish that would normally be eaten in the summertime, have it in the middle of the winter. The same thing with having soup in the middle of the summer.
No, I could eat this all day, but I'm not going to, because we're going to use it for dinner. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for all the nice comments you've done throughout a chunk of the pandemic, and now we're back. We're coming back. We're going to be here. We're going to be making more recipes. But I want to thank my mom and me, myself, Pete, or Kenshin1913, and I want to thank everybody for joining us.
Enjoy and happy eating.